Hello and welcome to The Final Chapter, a show exclusive to us here at HMTV6. It's our book club where we exclusively review each month the book du jour. We're certainly getting off to a steamy start this month with 50 Shades of Grey, and joining me to discuss the book are really the experts. I like to hand it off to them. Chris Copley, part of our lifestyle team, thank you for being here. Ashley Hudson, who is the branch manager of the Smithsburg Library, part of the Washington County Library Group, and of course, Karen Williams, our very own meteorologist here at HMTV6. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
I would like to set the record straight, first of all, that this E.L. James novel was chosen by Ashley, because I know my British viewers will blame me for choosing this book, but it was a very steamy start to the book club. Where do we start? Chris, what did you think? Now, it's the first book in the trilogy. I'm not sure I will move on.
I probably will not move on either, but then I have to confess it's not my kind of reading. I do like a love interest. I do like a story that has romance in it, but this was long on romance and kind of tame at that.
Ashley?
I probably won't read the follow-up books. Probably, maybe I'll read the Cliff Notes just to see what happens. I don't know, but I mean, there's no denying this is such a phenomenon, and that's why I picked it. I mean,
right.
At the library, we have 25 copies, and we have 106 title holds as of last night when I checked the website. So, I mean, people really want to read this book for some reason. So,
20 million people. It's sold over 20 million copies, and 20 million people can't be wrong. When we discussed what book we were planning on reading for our first final chapter, I said, well, could you grab a few copies from the library? She said, there's no chance. We have hundreds of people waiting for this book. So 20 million people can't be wrong. What was, for you, what was the best part of the book?
Oh, wow.
If you can narrow it down.
Well, I think we were talking before. We said that the email part of the book, when they were emailing each other, that was kind of cute. But I don't know. What saving graces to this book, as far as I was concerned. The writing was sort of poor. But I don't know. I just think it's so interesting.
Well, Karen, of course, you were on vacation.
Yes.
And welcome back.
Thank you.
And we just gave you a little bit of light reading for your vacation.
Yeah, it was light reading. What I found is, to follow Ashley's tangent there, the exchange with the emails, I found that to be very interesting. I thought that helped my interest more so than the overall ideal of the book. I kind of found myself, I thought the writing was a bit choppy. It didn't flow for me. Mm-hmm. And I also felt that the character, Anastasia, she was portrayed as to being a little bit too innocent for me for her age. I'm like, who is like this? You know? I thought it was a little bit, I thought it was for this day and time. I didn't think that really fit.
Right. I wonder if we all kind of related to the email section because we live in such an electronic world. Certainly for me, that was, as you say, it kept me reading a little longer than perhaps I would have normally, because I could relate to that. You know, we live in an electronic world. That's how we all communicate. We text and we email. For me, it was totally outside the genre of book I normally read, and I know that I probably shouldn't stay in the same genre, but I do. And I enjoyed it to a point. I did think it was fairly repetitive. I like a strong female character in a book. For me, she wasn't that. But what was it lacking for you, Chris? I know that you like your romance novels, and we love you for that.
I've read a couple.
What was it lacking for you?
I guess I wanted more. I wanted her to grow more,
right.
And I wanted him to be. I wanted more connection between them. Now she really latched onto him. He's a strong character. She, being naive at 22, college graduate, had never had a boyfriend, had never had an interest. So I agree with Karen on that. That's pretty uncommon nowadays.
Right.
So I just wanted more of a deeper relationship between the two of them. You know, they had, where their relationship went was kind of where he wanted it to go. He had strong values. She is still forming her values. He was a little older, 5 years older than her. I just wanted more depth to that.
Right. So do you think there was a great deal of character development through the book, Ashley?
I don't know. I mean, there wasn't very much character arc. I mean, I know it's a trilogy, so maybe there's more growth through the trilogy.
And that's why you'll read the clip
I'm
notes.
giving the benefit of the doubt. I don't know. You know, I read a really interesting article written by, I think her name's Alessandra Stanley from the New York Times, and she said that what she believes makes it such an international sensation was the Cinderella fantasy that we don't really see in, you know, the modern mainstream media anymore. You know, adult women are usually depicted as, you know, the mother, very strong, career, you know, like everything. And I mean, in this book, we see, you know, Anastasia. I mean, she doesn't really earn anything. I mean, she's just sort of swept off her feet by this guy who comes in and, you know, sort of hands her all these opportunities. And I mean, is that what makes this popular more than the tawdry aspects of it? I mean, are women secretly sort of, they like that, you know, sort of the weak woman?
Don't look at me.
You know, sort of.
I think you've. No, I think that's a good
really
point.
Compelling sort of.
It is. We want to put forward this very strong character, this in total control. We can look after the kids and run a successful business and be great at what we do. But I wonder if secretly we all just kind of, you know, dream of letting go just a little bit.
Right.
And you know, honestly, I can totally relate to that. I mean, to that fantasy. But I mean, it is a fantasy. It's not. It will happen so rarely, and then it will happen for a short time. I mean, no relationship that I've heard of will last for that long. I mean, relationships deepen. You know, as you know each other longer, you get to know each other in different ways, and that's the way it works. I mean, it's the way you want it to be.
Right.
So.
If you've just joined us here at the final chapter, thank you for joining us. We are talking about today 50 Shades of Grey, a very interesting novel by E.L. James. We will be looking at The Cellist of Sarajevo in our next show, and of course we encourage our HMTV6 viewers to read along with us. Thank you for joining us here on the final chapter.